Y'all ready? We about to get started. And it goes a little something like this. The thoughts, views, and opinions shared on the Flow Show No Filter are for educational and entertainment purposes only. I am not a professional. I am just good. Ow! What is it? Thirsty Thursday. Happy Thirsty Thursday. On Thirsty Thursday, I want to remind everybody to drink their water, plenty of intake on Thirsty Thursdays. We might forget some days, but don't forget to drink your water on Thirsty Thursdays here with the Flow Show No Filter. As always, we have an excellent show for you today. Very informative and a lot of fucking tea. Your boy Diddy is back in the news and he means business. He jumped back in the news crazy. Jay-Z and Tony Busby and Diddy got a lot of shit going on. We getting to the bottom of these freak off tapes. Oh yeah, we getting to the bottom of the freak off tapes today. So if you got some coffee, you might want to put a little shot in there, but don't drive because it's one of those type of shows today. And so we're gonna talk about it, y'all. Y'all know this is my favorite time of the day. Shout out to everybody who's watching, and shout out to everybody who's listening. We are in some weird times right now, y'all, and it just feels good that we have a community that we build and we come together. We listen, we don't judge each other. We here for a common purpose to get justice for a lot of victims, especially victims of sexual assault, rape, all kind of stuff like that. And that's where we come together. I don't judge you for your personal beliefs outside of what we're here for. And that's and y'all do me the same way. And I appreciate that. It's a lot going on right now. The country is very divided. You know, you got your people on the Trump side, you got the people on the Republican side, on the Democrat side, and it's just real nasty. And it just drives home the point why I'm glad to be independent. I was raised, my whole family is Democrats for the most part. So I was raised a Democrat. But now it's just that it's too much fighting and too much attacks. I don't want to be a part of that. So I like being independent. Hey, and I don't judge anybody. Go hard for if you're a Trump person, go hard. If you're a Biden, Kamala Democrat, go hard. I don't have nothing against none of y'all. Just for me, I just feel good to be independent because I get to just sit back, judge things for how they are, and stay out of that mess. But like I said, I just want us to continue to unify. We've been unifying in our movement with the podcast and with my social media and the flow movement in general. It's just a great thing, and I want to keep it that, and I appreciate it. But we got to talk about some shit today, y'all. Fuck all the mushy talk. Diddy is coming out fucking swinging. Like Diddy but listen, this is the crazy part. Diddy coming out swinging, and so is Tony Busby. Now Jay-Z came out swinging first, but now it appears that Diddy has reverted into Mohawk Diddy. Oh yeah, Mohawk Diddy is back, y'all, because he's suing for $50 million. And Diddy is in jail and suing for $50 million. You gotta listen to this. And we got names. We're gonna go back over these names that were listed. This is gonna be, just sit back and relax. This is gonna be a good one. This is a lot of, I couldn't even squeeze all the information that I wanted to into today's show. So I'm gonna squeeze as much as I can. But it's a lot going on, y'all. Shout out to all the subscribers. Continue to subscribe. Keep the lights on for the Flow Show No Filter. If you enjoy what I'm doing and you want me to keep doing it. Please subscribe for the exclusive content, live shows. We do panels where we did a great one for the Diddy recap where all the subscribers, we sent out an email, invite everybody, and we just talked about it in real time. People asked questions. It was fun. We're going to do it again this weekend. It's something that I want to do probably every Saturday. At least once a weekend. I want to get with my subscribers and we talk about whatever the biggest case was or the biggest story that week. So we're gonna do it again this weekend. So appreciate everybody for subscribing. Please keep subscribing. I appreciate it. It keeps the lights on and keep me able to do this and not have to depend on these corporate pieces of shit, because as you can see, they will take something away from you in a heartbeat. But it's all good. So let's get right into it, y'all. I'm not gonna drag out too much of an intro because it's a lot to talk about, and I want to get to it all. So I'm guessing y'all want to start with this $50 million Jay-Z lawsuit because we even got some fucking Tupac news. This Tupac shit is becoming real. And when I say Tupac shit is becoming real, the part about Diddy having something to do with it and people saying that shit's starting to come true. And we got to talk about that. So, but we're going to get into that later in the show. We're going to start with this $50 million lawsuit and go from there. So let me get into it. Ain't no laughing matter at all today. So, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Flow Show. No filter, another day, another dollar, another holla. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, grab a shot, grab whatever you need, because it's one of those shows this morning or whenever you listen to it. But you know, for me, it's always crack of fucking dawn when I do this. We about to dive into some crazy shit. And if you're Diddy, this might not be what you want. Everybody's head is on fire about this new news. So let's break this down. So here it is. Diddy has filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit. Now, this lawsuit is against Courtney Burgess and Ariel Mitchell. And what I'm hearing is he's even wrapped up News Nation in this bullshit. So this is serious. Now, who are these people? You probably know Courtney Burgess from the he said he had the freak off tapes. I got a clip from him that I'm gonna play for you guys. And also I have a clip from Ariel Mitchell, which is his attorney. Now, these were the people that said they had the I think it was 9 freak off tapes with all the names on it. Oh, we're gonna name names today in this show. So strap your fucking seatbelt on and keep your head on the swivel if you're walking the dog and pick the poop up, because we about to get into some shit. Damn, that kind of went together. Pick your poop up and shit. But let's go. So listen, check this out. Diddy is claiming that they've been out here spreading what he calls outlandish lies and baseless speculation to feed the public's thirst for drama. But let me tell y'all something. Just because someone files a lawsuit doesn't mean they're spitting facts. All it means is that they had the audacity to walk into a courtroom and make it official. Diddy's basically demanding proof and trying to flip the narrative. But let's not act like this man's reputation isn't already hanging by the littlest, tiniest piece of thread that you can find. So here's what's really going on. Diddy's calling out Burgess and Mitchell for claiming he's got some freak off tapes. Diddy don't believe him. Now, allegedly, these tapes involve some very questionable activities, including minors and celebrities. Now, Burgess also alleged that he had Kim Porter's secret diary. Kim Porter, of course, you know, is Diddy's ex-girlfriend who died mysteriously, and they have kids together. Now, they are saying, well, Burgess was saying he had her diary. You know, the one that's supposed to be exposing all of Diddy's skeletons. Now, I'm going to play a clip of Burgess, so you got to get an idea who he is and what he's saying. But it's definitely something you're going to want to pay attention to. Having some technical difficulties, but we back. 80% of the videos is more words writing to it. It's more like a diary that's going to be turned into a book. It's going to talk about the most being broken. And they the young boys talk about how he told her dad you looked at the black to I know we spoke before. There were two young artists. One was Usher, and there were two young artists. One was Usher. Who was the other one? One was Usher. I believe the other one was definitely somebody. Talked to said it was as well. It was just names and one of the things I ain't gonna know about this. One of the things some young women, females. It's no disrespect to artists, but what do you mean? It was one. Now I know it's a little hard to hear because that was on that was Courtney Burgess. He gave that interview on like a YouTube channel. Did you hear the names? If not, I'm gonna recap that anyway. But basically, he said he saw the video. It shows, you know, it's talking about and shows and talked about when he talked about the book. He said that Kim has put in a book about Diddy bragging about tearing Justin Bieber's ass up or Usher's ass up or both. Also, it implicated Will Smith's son. That was the name he said, Jaden Smith, Kevin Hart, and basically name J-Lo. If I'm missing a name, let me know. That he mentioned in that excerpt. That's Courtney. And this is what Diddy is suing about. Now, this is Diddy playing with fire because this guy was brought in by a grand jury, all kind of stuff. And if he does have the tapes, this is gonna blow up in Diddy's face. Now, if Courtney has been lying this whole time, well, now Diddy may have something. We shall see, but let's continue. Diddy is pissed. And I heard he's going crazy inside. He's having a mental breakdown, but that hasn't been reported in the mainstream news or in the regular news. But I heard through the grapevine that Diddy is mentally breaking down. But let me tell you something. Just because, you know, the situation, all right, I'm going to say it like this. Diddy's calling out Burgess and Mitchell, claiming that they ain't got nothing. But they say they do. But Diddy is not buying it, and his legal team is pressing on it, which I'm kind of confused, y'all. But it is what it is. I can't see how they will be lying. Him and his attorney. I'm gonna play what the attorney said, Ariel Mitchell. But Diddy is going hard and not backing down. But Ariel Mitchell is not backing down as well. She straight up told TMZ directly that this is just a pathetic ploy to silence victims and those who stand up for them. Basically, she believes Diddy is suing for $50 million because he is trying to make all the other attorneys and the other victims shut the hell up. That is his goal, and him and his attorneys are going hard at that goal. Now, she also goes on to say, Diddy, it's funny that Diddy will file and has time to file a nonsense ass lawsuit, but he won't accept service. He doesn't have time to accept service for people that are suing him when he's in jail. Now, if you don't know what she's talking about there, she's talking about the fact that Diddy has been, and I've reported on this earlier in the podcast, in another episode, but Diddy hasn't been receiving he's not been receiving his mail or his lawsuits, so they haven't been able to move forward. And they're saying, well, how can you not get him? You're just in jail. But he's been not accepting it. So she's saying, it's funny that you have time to file, but you don't have time to accept the people suing your ass. And so she's calling his lawsuit frivolous and meritless. Now, let's talk about this service of process. Because Ariel, she's sharp. The attorney that Diddy is trying to sue, she's very sharp. And when someone sues you, you need to serve those court papers to make it official. And like I said, Diddy is dodging the paperwork, even in jail, which I don't know how you hide in jail. I don't know how Diddy is getting this off, but he's getting it off. And he's being blatant and flagrant about it. Now, here's my question. Diddy, how the hell how does he done? How can you avoid receiving your court documents when you're in jail? It's not like you can be gone or missing. Guards could literally slide the paper through your prison bars. So what the fuck is the holdup? If you can file a $50 million lawsuit, you can accept your own lawsuits. That's just me. Maybe I'm missing something. But let me play a clip from the actual attorney and what the attorney Ariel Mitchell said out of her own mouth.
Was just recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because, wait, say that again. Say that again. Back up. You're saying that there's tapes and they're being shopped? Yes, there have been people already shopping. We've heard about the tapes. The shopping thing is. Yes, there already have been tapes leaking around Hollywood, being shopped around to individuals in Hollywood. But one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge. I've heard this before. So like a catch and kill. Catch and kill, correct. Wow. Can you, and I guess you can't reveal the person who is on. No, I can't explain who the person was, but Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs. Really? Really? And you've seen it? I've seen stills of the video. Okay. So you can verify that it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video is pornographic in nature. Oh my. All right. So we know that he videotaped a lot of activities at his home, did he? And was just.
So that's a lot. Those are bold statements from an attorney who, if according to Diddy, doesn't have a tape, haven't seen a tape. It's just bold-faced lying. What y'all think? I don't see a lawyer going that hard in lying. I don't know. Could be wrong. But let's move on. And she's countersuing, guys. Just to let you know, this attorney is not bullshitting. She said she's countersuing Diddy for this dumb shit. So let's look at the big picture of all this, what's going on, because this is going to turn into some big shit, because this is a big game. This is like a old-fashioned game of chicken, and y'all know how the game of chicken go. The game of chicken goes like this. Let's say if you're playing it with bikes. We used to play it back in the day. We used to play chicken with bikes, and what you would have to do is ride towards each other fast as you can, and whoever turned away before y'all collided lost. So y'all would ride, and that's chickens, and even say whoever turned away and turned to avoid the collision, you're a chicken. This is a old-fashioned game of chicken right now. Diddy is banking on they not having no tapes. They're saying Diddy needs the money too. So he's trying to maybe get a couple dollars, maybe get some money, but mainly he wants to see what the fuck tapes they got. I believe he wants to see what tapes they have or don't have before this trial starts. And this lawsuit may help bring that forward. I don't really know what his end game here, because I don't see that attorney lying about that. I can't play all the interviews, but she said she saw clips of a tape. She saw still shots of a tape. She's been contacted to help facilitate a sale of a tape. I mean, all of that, and she lying. I don't know, y'all. Y'all tell me. I don't know about that one, but I think it's a good old-fashioned Hail Mary. I think Diddy is just throwing a bunch of shit at the wall and seeing what sticks at this point. And it stinks to me. But Diddy is appearing desperate, y'all, at this point. Like I said, they're speculating that his money is low. We have evidence of that. I mean, you got to think. Imagine how much money he spent already, and the trial hasn't even started. Matter of fact, it's still about 2 or 3 months left. Maybe 3 months left or more. So he is spending, every day he's spending thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars just on the case, not the regular living expenses, just the case. So he's looking desperate. He was trying to get Biden to give him a pardon. That didn't happen. he was looking for Trump for a pardon. That didn't happen. And Ariel Mitchell is not letting up. And as a matter of fact, y'all, Ariel Mitchell has been suing Diddy for quite some time now. Like, this isn't her first rodeo with him. This has been years. So she's well aware of Mohawk Diddy. I don't have to tell her. So as she doubles down, let's continue. One of the quotes that Ariel said was, and I quote, "If you think you can silence me or the victims, you've got the wrong one," end quote. She ain't scared of Diddy, and she said that numerous times. Now let's get to these freak off tapes. Diddy is over here swearing they don't exist, playing dumb. Or even if he's not playing dumb, he is trying to see what the fuck do they have on him so he can prepare. That's what I think it's about. Now, people are saying they've seen or heard about these tapes and they're real. It seems as though the only person that doesn't believe the tapes exist is the diddler. And if I was the diddler, I would probably wish they didn't exist as well. So here's where I'm at, y'all. The whole thing feels like a desperate attempt at trying to be free. I don't know what the hell Diddy's doing. I don't know what to call it. It's a distraction. And Ariel and Courtney don't seem scared at all. They fighting back. And I think if I was a betting man, I see this blowing up in Diddy's face. But at the end of the day, we got to let the courts do their thing. And we got to watch intently. Now, two things I want you to pay attention to as well that has nothing that actually it wasn't talked about in any of the articles. This is just the Flow Show no filter thinking right now. You tell me if I'm crazy. Now, you got 50-50 split in this. You got 50% thinking if they don't have these tapes and they running around saying Usher on there, Justin Bieber, J-Lo, Will Smith's son, and they saying this on News Nation, TMZ, different, well-known publications, big YouTube channels with huge following, hundreds of thousands, even millions. Why haven't any of those celebrities sued? Why hasn't any of those celebrities sued for defamation? None of them have. That seems kind of strange to me. I mean, this is not like some people just saying some shit on their social media page. These people are on some of the biggest platforms known. And nobody out of all those celebrities' name, even Kevin Hart, Mr. Sue Your Ass. Kevin Hart sue everybody. When you do what I do, that's kind of like how you know you made it. Once Kevin Hart sue you, he didn't even sue. So that makes my antenna go up and say, even if these tapes, even if he, and I believe these tapes are that I don't think Ariel and Courtney are lying. But let's say, for shits and giggles and the sake of this argument, let's say they are lying. The fact that no celebrity has came out and denied any of this lets me know there's some fucking freak off tapes out there with them in it, because they ain't saying shit. Now you do have another 50% of the world that are saying the only reason they're not suing is because they didn't want to get wrapped up in this murky mess. But I don't buy that, because it's one thing to say some shit on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook. But when you're on TMZ, you're on News Nation, you're on YouTube channels with over million of subscribers. If you're lying, and you can't tell me these sue happy ass celebrities who want to sue just for you mentioning their name, you can't tell me they wouldn't be suing. So I don't know. That's just me. You know, they say I reach sometimes. Maybe I'm reaching. Maybe celebrities don't care if they're saying that they were in freak offs, fucking underage people and forcing drugs and drinks on people. Maybe they won't come out and sue about that. I don't know. But Courtney Burgess has ties to another well-known rapper. And this rapper's not here anymore. And I'm talking about Tupac Shakur. And we got some new Tupac news. They really saying Diddy did that shit now. And we're going to get into that with Keefe D. Keefe D is fighting for his life right now. And he's starting to spill some beans. He is definitely starting to spill some beans. And Diddy ain't going to like this. But before I get into that, let me read a nice, well-written compliment or something on the show from one of my faithful listeners, Carly. I just wanted to take the time to read this. I appreciated it. Now, yesterday, or was it yesterday? Oh, yeah, yesterday. I was talking about Justin Bieber and his wife, and they're on the rocks. And, you know, Justin Bieber has kind of been all out of sorts and not even himself behind this case. And you can imagine that. And I said, a lot of time people don't realize when us men shut down, go into our cave, we all do. If you read books, that's what we do. Man, we like to kind of figure things out in our head. We're kind of the opposite of women in a way, where women tend to communicate it to each other and communicate it to us as men. Men, we like to figure it out in our head. And a lot of time that shuts out people around us. And it makes it hard for people around us to operate, namely, especially women. I just, brought to attention to that and said, women, I understand that. And I just want everybody to know that you might not see how hard it is, but I've grown to realize that picking up the pieces when the man of the house is down and out mentally, that puts a crazy load on a woman. And I just wanted to, acknowledge that. And it's funny because when you do a podcast and you do shit, you don't know some of the stuff, most of the stuff that really means a lot to y'all, stuff that I said in passing, kind of like in freestyle, like, because I only put notes in of the facts, but 50% of what I do on my podcast is in real time, just in the moment thoughts that I have as I'm going through the information. So she sent me this letter. Sent this message, and let me read this. She says, I want to say a huge thank you for recognizing the labor that a lot of women have to do to help their man process their traumas and their emotions. My husband is serving military and carries all the trauma associated with several tours of duty. Shout out to your husband, and much respect for him for serving this country and keeping us protected. It's the women, though, that are left to pick up the pieces and hold families together when the therapists clock out and the darkness falls. Honestly, I like you more and more every day. Your integrity is admirable and rare these days. XO. Thanks, Carly. And I appreciate that message. And honestly, like I said, when I said that in my episode, it was kind of just a thought that was in my mind as I was reading the article and talking to you guys. I didn't even think it was really that profound. So I really appreciate you for telling me that. And if anybody else appreciate that or got something out of that message, I'm excited and happy about that. That is what I'm here for. And like I said, it's not something that I put in my podcast and was like, oh, okay, this is something that they're gonna it's really gonna hit them hard. I had no clue. So Carly, thanks for listening. Shout out to your husband and shout out to you. And we're gonna keep it moving. So we're gonna get into this Tupac shit, y'all. Cause this shit, what if they find some hardcore Tupac evidence in the middle of all this right now? That would be crazy, wouldn't it? So we about to dive into this Tupac and Keefe D situation. Now, Diddy's name keep coming up, but it's getting hotter and hotter and hotter every time it comes up now. And it's getting to the point where in a minute I strongly believe that in a minute we're gonna hear, hey y'all, Diddy is being charged for the murder of Tupac. I see that headline coming. So let's just take it back. Tupac was one of the most iconic rappers in the 1990s. His music, his message, his swagger, Tupac was the head honcho. But in 1996, after a Mike Tyson fight, Tupac was shot while riding in the car with Suge Knight, and we never seen him again alive. The murder has been one of the biggest unsolved cases in music history. Over the years, there have been multiple investigations, tons of theories, and a whole lot of finger pointing. And let me tell y'all, one of those fingers that are pointing, if you're looking at me, if you're watching this on video, you see my finger pointing like Arsenio Hall back in the day. Remember he had that long finger? One of those fingers pointing is Keefe D. Davis. Now, who the fuck is Keefe D. Davis? Most of y'all should know who he is, but let me give you a little brief since we got a little time. Ain't no rush. The Flow Show, no filter. We take our time and do it right. So let's talk about Keefe D. He's a former gang leader from Compton, California, that is. Back in the day, he was reportedly involved in drug sales and trafficking, and he even served time in prison in the late 1990s. But here's where it gets wild. Keefe D has been out here for years, basically implicating himself in Tupac's murder. This man wrote a whole tell-all book. It's called The Compton Street Legend. And in this book, he spills all the tea about the Tupac and the Biggie murders, Suge Knight, Diddy, and more. But not only that, he's been doing interviews on YouTube talking about all the shit that went down that night in Las Vegas. Keefe D says he was in the car when his nephew, Orlando Anderson, and two others, when Tupac was killed. He was in that car with those people. Now, he claims his nephew was the one who pulled the trigger. That would be Orlando. So now is here where this shit gets even messier. Now, in a 2008 interview, I couldn't find it. I could only find the quotes. I was trying to find it for you guys so I could play it. But I'm going to just have to tell you, in 2008, an interview with investigators, Keefe D claimed that Diddy, yes, Sean Diddy Combs, a.k.a. Mohawk Diddy, a.k.a. the Diddler, offered him $1 million to kill Tupac and Suge Knight. Hit the wrong fucking button. Anyway, this is crazy. So he says an associate of Diddy's named Eric Zip Martin gave him the gun to carry out the hit. Now, according to Keefe D, the plan was never fully paid out. He believed Diddy gave the money to Zip, who then kept it for himself. Now, whether that is true or not, that's up for debate. But let's just say Diddy's name being tied to Tupac's murder isn't exactly new. Now, let me pause for 1 second and tell you what I think. I think Diddy was $1 million. He put up $1 million to kill Biggie and Tupac. I mean, not Biggie and Tupac. Tupac and Suge, right? But when only Tupac died, he probably only paid $500,000. And Zip took the $500,000 because that's what he was counting on getting anyway and ran. I believe if Suge Knight and Tupac were killed, Puffy Diddy would have paid the $1 million, and Zip would have took the $500,000 and gave Keefe D his $500,000. But since only half of the job was done, Zip got his half and ran. That's just my speculation. But let's move on. Now, Keefe D's arrests and legal battles are well documented. So fast forward to September 2023, 27 years after Tupac was killed. Keefe D is arrested outside his home near Las Vegas. He's then charged with first-degree murder, and his trial is set to start in March. But y'all, he and his legal team are fighting hard now to get this case thrown out. Keefe D's lawyers are arguing a couple of things. One, that the government waited too long to charge him, which would be 27 years, which I don't know if it's ever too long for murder, but that's just me. And also, another thing, Keefe D had a deal with federal investigators that should have given him immunity from prosecution. Now, I could buy him on that one. If they gave him immunity to tell his story, he should have immunity. Now, I don't know the details. He should be able to rat on Diddy and get the hell out of the way, but I don't know the details. But from what I know, I don't think they can grant you immunity, then you spill the beans and then they lock your ass up. I don't know. Y'all tell me. All my lawyers or my legal experts out there, send me a message. Let me know how that goes. So here's the catch. He hasn't been able to prove this immunity agreement even existed, though. So if it doesn't exist, all bets are off. Your ass grass, Keefe D. So, but we shall see. So let's talk about the immunity. He says that Keefe D claims that this immunity was back in the late 90s and early 2000s, and he was cooperating with investigators as part of a task force looking into Biggie Smalls' murder. He says he was granted immunity in exchange for information. But here's the catch. He hasn't been able to prove that even existed. No court order. No paperwork. No nothing. Nathaniel. We used to call nothing Nathaniel, just so you know. So when a person say, how much you got? You be like, Nathaniel. So nothing. Prosecutors are saying, where are the receipts, Keefe? You can't just say you got immunity and don't have a receipt for it. And on top of that, even if you did have immunity, it wouldn't apply to a murder case in Nevada. And I think that where they might be catching his ass up at. So Keefe D, you better start squealing. Start singing like the Temptations. But here's the wildest part, y'all. This is the wildest part. Keefe D has basically been telling on himself for years. Prosecutors are like, this man has confessed in interviews, documentaries, and even his own fucking book. Now, in this 2019 memoir, he goes into detail about what happened that night in Vegas, naming the names and pointing the fingers. He's done numerous YouTube interviews where he talks about his role in the murder, just like it's another story, like they just ordered a pizza. You know, like it's no big deal to him. Now, earlier this month, Keefe D's defense team filed a motion to dismiss the case, saying that the constitutional rights have been violated, et cetera, et cetera. They compared this situation to like Bill Cosby case, where Cosby's conviction was overturned because of a deal he had with a former DA. But here's the gag. Prosecutors aren't buying it. They're not buying it. They say Keefe D is being dramatic and that he's essentially created his own mess by running his mouth for decades. Now let's bring it all the way back to Mohawk Diddy. Now with Keefe D dragging his name into this, you think Diddy would be out here making statements. But Diddy quiet as hell. Y'all notice that? Diddy ain't saying a motherfucking word about this Tupac shit. And this isn't the first time Diddy's been accused of being involved in some shady shit. We all know that. That's why y'all tuning in to this show. A big reason. But if Keefe D's claims about that $1 million hit are true, this could have massive implications for Diddy and send his ass up the river 100 times over. Fuck his legacy. At this point, I don't think Diddy even give a fuck about his legacy. He just hoping he will see sunlight again. So what happens now? Keefe D's motion to dismiss has been denied. And unless the team appeals, he's headed to trial in March. At the same time that they're about to be listing these co-conspirators. I think that timing is ironic. I'm sure Diddy's team is probably working overtime to keep his name out that Tupac mess because he already got a huge mess that he's working with right now. But shit, Keefe D might get to the point where he gonna tell every fucking thing he thought he knew because the prosecutors ain't playing with his ass, and you gonna have to talk. Another case we're gonna be paying attention to. Now I'm just gonna update y'all because we're gonna be watching that one like a hawk. So stay tuned to the Flow Show No Filter as this Tupac shit develops with Diddy and these freak off tapes develop. We're gonna get to the bottom of it. Now, I just want to update y'all on this Tony Busby Jay-Z situation real quick. Tony Busby has hired 3 new attorneys, One attorney representing him and two representing the young victim against Jay-Z. And guess where these powerhouse attorneys come from? These are Trump's powerhouse. President Trump's powerhouse attorneys are now working with Busby against Jay-Z. Good luck, Jay-Z. Because you're going to fucking need it. Because one thing I can say about Trump's attorneys, you can say whatever you want to say, but they be getting shit done. And I tried to tell people that Tony Busby had that relationship with Trump since back in the day. Trump loved Busby. So once Trump won, I knew Jay-Z was gonna have an uphill battle up his on his ass. So Tony Busby has lawyered up, beefed up his firm that's handling, or his team, I should say, not his firm. He's beefed up his team that's handling this situation, and we shall see how far this goes. Also, Tony Busby still has his own issues going on, or his own cases, and I'm pretty sure that's why he hired an attorney to represent himself. Now, I'm sure tomorrow, because so much shit hit the fan yesterday, I'm sure we're going to have a shitload of information to talk about tomorrow, because I'm sure Courtney Burgess and that attorney Ariel Mitchell are going to have more to say. Also, I'm sure there's going to be some type of response from Jay-Z at this point. But we're going to watch it all. Subscription, we got the Jaguar. For all the subscribers, we got the Jaguar Wright. Who is Jaguar Wright story coming in the exclusive content. We also have the Whitney Houston coming. And this weekend, we will be doing a panel, a live show, talking about whatever case I pick for the week. And all subscribers will be invited. Please subscribe. The subscription link is in the show notes. The video, all the video content is being distributed through Patreon. So if you want to tap into the video, right now I'm on video. Subscribe to my Patreon, but all the audio content will be on my podcast, on Buzzsprout, on Spotify, on Apple. Even the exclusive video content, the exclusive audio will be available for subscribers. So please subscribe. I appreciate it. And we ain't gonna do too much. I ain't gonna hold y'all no more. We gonna go and get out of here. I appreciate, love all y'all. It's just been a crazy thing. But hey, look, all I want to say before I get out of here is don't let this Elon Musk, Trump, Biden, Democrat, public, all that. Don't let that shit divide us, y'all. Root for your guy. Your guy won in office, whether it's the president, senator, whatever. Hey, hats off. Congratulations. Whoever won. But at the end of the day, y'all, we have to deal with each other. Don't let these billionaires who are all cool behind closed doors, don't let them have us going at each other like we want to kill each other. Like if you have your stance or have something to say, just say it. We can just communicate. We don't have to go after each other with such evilness. And that's all I want to say. I just wanted us to continue as people. We the people run this shit. And we the people got to stick together. No matter what. Root for your person. It's kind of like basketball, football, whatever. You got your team. I got my team. She got her team. But after the game over, me and you got to live with each other. And don't forget that. As always, I love y'all, but I'm out. And that's how it goes, y'all. So you seen the behind the scenes of the Flow Show No Filter. Thanks for joining me on the Patreon or wherever you seeing me at. I'm going to keep it going. And to y'all, I'm out. Bye-bye.